So, but of course, we still follow safety protocol. So we're still wearing face masks and um, face shield, and also observing social distancing. But in some places here, people seems to seems to know that the virus is really gone, because you will see them um, flocking together without even wearing masks. So, but
Yeah.
the places here is following strict safety protocol.
I just cannot believe we are going on the calendar year of this. I can't believe. I'm just like, good heavens, when is this going to end? I mean, I just remember when this first came about last March. I think the reference was, hey, it'll be a couple weeks, and then, I mean, over here for the States, I'm speaking in terms of, it was like a couple weeks, we'll be back. And so I told my students, hey, take a couple break, and here we are 11 months later.
Same here. Same here. We really miss the training, but
who would ever dreamed, huh? Oh, jeez. And yeah, but folks, if you're watching, please tell us where you're watching from. If you have questions, you put them there in the section where we got Google Ramos here, Jesse. All right. Okay, so all right, let's just jump into it, because we got a bunch of questions, and then of course we got you for demos and all that. So I know you've been at this for a couple decades now, but what was your first FMA experience? I mean, who was your first teacher and what have you?
My first FMA experience was back during my college years, when I was in first year college. It was a subject in physical education. So at the time, I forgot the name of my instructor, but he was teaching modern Chinese.
Modern
And then, and then when I come back here in Manila, because I went to the province, I met this master. He is Professor Soteco, and he told me that he used to teach in Centro Escolar University in Medjugorje, Manila. So I asked him, the duration of his tenure there, and he said it covers the date where I was there. So I can't remember him, but if he is teaching at the time, perhaps he is my instructor, first instructor of martial arts.
So it was modern Chinese, am I correct?
Yeah, modern Chinese.
So so obviously this being your first exposure on that, I mean, what'd you think? What'd you think of it? Like,
For me, I like it very much. So I trained with it, even if it's in physical education. But before that, on my fourth year in high school, actually one of my former classmates gave me this book. The title is Arnis, and the author is Edgar Sulite. And when I really fond of reading books, especially with martial arts. So I read the book. I like the style. So I also have mimic the movements. I asked a former friend to do it with me. So when I'm in college, I already knew some strikes, some fundamentals of.
Wow. So after minor knees, I mean, during your college, was there a next stop? After you got done with college, as far as a different style or what have you?
Also during that day, a distant cousin of mine, visited our house in Paranaque, and he lived there for a year, and he introduced me this style. It's called mongoose. but he haven't teach me actually yet. I only knew it when he got drunk. He got drunk and he asked me to go to his room and show me the stuff because he knew that I love martial arts. So he asked me to come to his room and then show me this empty hand style called mongoose. So
Okay. Oh, I was gonna say, thank God it was empty hands because weapons and liquor. I don't know. That's not a good combo.
and I was amazed because he can do very good techniques even with small space. And the art is deadly. The art is new to me. So at first sight, at first experience, I fell in love with the art. But I haven't learned it because um, he is very secretive. He doesn't want to just give the techniques to me. So
Yeah.
when I went to Bicol for education, I'm lucky to meet this master. His name is Rosendo Barbadillo. I call it Pai Syndrome. And yeah, he's the master of mongoose. But the problem is, mongoose is taught in secret into to a particular religion here. So at the time, you will not learn mongoose if you don't belong to their religion. So
Oh, if you're not affiliated with their religion, you're
yeah,
exempt from
just like
learning.
Sila.
Okay.
Yeah, just like Sila. But lucky me, my teacher, that teacher is a friend of my father.
Oh, so that helped. Okay. Okay.
So yeah, he taught me, some.
Wow. And that was mostly the focus there was mostly empty hand.
Yes,
Okay.
actually, on the first day, I broke my wrist. Yeah,
That
I
might be
broke.
a sign. You know what? I might be going to train somewhere else. I don't know.
Yeah, because the teacher is, I can say that he is a hardcore, and it's not actually a formal instruction like what we're doing today. We have the basic, going to intermediate. From there, from the start, he just showed me the technique and applied to me the technique without any warm ups or so. So yeah, that's what happened to me. So I rested for a while.
Yeah. I'm betting. Yeah. After a program, I'm just going to take an opportunity here, Maestro, just to say hello to some people we got watching. And I gotta get Julia's invite link. We got Jesse from the Philippines. James from Connecticut. Hey, brother. We got Steve from Australia. And Jesse's got some questions, which we're going to get to when we get to the grappling. And Julia's chat. All right. And so if you are watching, please tell us where you're watching from. So then, all right. So was there after this? Now, did you stay with him long, or did you move on?
Okay, so as I can remember, as far as I can remember, I just trained to him for like 3 days or 4 days, something like that. So it's not really a long term
Right. I got you. Okay.
instruction.
Okay.
And then from year after, I met my ex-wife. She is a Sikaran practitioner, Sikaran black belt.
Oh, the kicking. Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so from there, she taught me the basic katas, the panilang kas, something like that.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
when we got married, yeah, I met his father, my former father-in-law, and he asked me to assist him for the handling of the group in Bicol. It's called Mandirigma Sikaran Club. So I became an assistant instructor in Sikaran. So
Oh, okay. All right. Wow. All right. So after that, was there a next stop as far as being exposed to more of the weapon aspect?
In Mungus, there's also weapon. In Mungus, there's also the arnis my master used is the Cincoteros.
Okay.
But it's more like of a self-defense self-defense
More okay application. Okay, all right.
application.
So, any other systems that you kind of dove into or experienced?
Yeah, actually, when I also studied Aikido. Actually, Aikido. I also studied karate at a very young age. Also boxing. So my first mentor actually is my father. At the age of 7.
Okay.
That was that's what I remember when we used to play boxing in the yard. We invited my friends to come along, and we tied plastic straw as a ring, and then
that was your rent. Okay.
every afternoon we do that. So
okay. Hey,
so
whatever. I guess whatever works. Because one of the questions, actually, this will fit into right now. Where did you learn weaponry, and who gave you the rank of lakan? This is a question from Jesse. So 2 parts. Where did you learn the weaponry, and who gave you the rank of lakan?
Okay. So the lakan is the term used by most of the FMA groups, right? It's a rank, like lakan isa, lakan dalawa, lakan tatlo. But originally, lakan is a chieftain of a tribe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is according to Philippine culture. So lakan is like a datu, who is the leader of the tribe. So I use it to to just represent me as a leader of the tribe, and
I got
it's
you.
not.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, okay. So we got modern knees, we got some hand techniques and weapon, and then we got stick around. Any other stops?
When on 2009, I remember I went to Luneta because a friend of mine told me that there is something going on in Luneta with so many Irish teachers there. So I went there, and I met Grandmaster Henry Spera. So yeah, I saw his instruction, and yeah, but at that time, it's not a regular training. So I also can remember me doing doing the training with him like three times, 4 times. But most of the time we're together because I met friends also in Luneta because every Sunday during that time we are we do demonstration at the park. Evening, the Department of Tourism has this program, and the Pigsai Association is the one organizing it. So I on 2009, every Sunday I really I'm really in Luneta. So yeah, Sir Henry and other masters there. I used to mingle with.
Yeah, no,
And
because I mean,
I jumped into. I also observing Calis Istrisimo at the time. Master Ronnie Diego.
oh, there you go. There, yeah. Now that's it. Now we're.
So that's where I really saw the the whole thing, the many styles in Amis at that time.
Yeah, I mean, from my understanding, I mean, obviously you're gonna know better than this, but all the people I've spoken to, in the Philippines, all that, Luneta, I mean, it's like, the park, like you could walk there and you got a little group over here, then you got a group over here, and they kind of have their spots. And I think, it sounds really neat. You know what I mean? One day I hope to go over there and see that, experience that. It's everything that I've heard about. It just sounds really neat. You know what I mean? That you can go there and just see who's doing what, and I guess they throw up their banner and their flag so you know who's who, I guess, and all that. I don't know. That's really neat that in one collective place you have all these organizations and all that. I wish we had something like that over here, but no. So with Master Henry and Tony, I'm gonna assume the emphasis was sword.
I was not yet introduced with the sword. I only learned some of the variations of Sinawali at the time, and nothing.
From Master Henry. Okay.
Yes, other variations of Sinawali.
Okay. And then so is there another stop, or is it kind of like, it sounds like you had a bunch of experiences with all these different guys and all that in different systems? Is that kind of what, is that the beginning where you found your thing?
I'm very observant. I really love watching masters doing demos, and I also love watching books, watching videos, and from there I got this idea of some system, and from there, because I was used to doing it with somebody like a student or a friend with me, experimenting on the techniques.
Yeah.
So I was used to that. I started in Bicol, where my student, a former student of mine, who happens to be also a Mungus practitioner, so he taught me some of the different style of Mungus, because there are different styles of Mungus. So what happens is every afternoon, every day, in the afternoon, we meet in the park, and we practice, we experiment things, we create techniques, something like that. So I was used to that.
Okay. No, yeah, it sounds like you established a good background, and then you were able to look at other sources and see what you liked and kind of pull from there. And that's it's becoming more of a common thing today. So I guess, when did you form, based on everything that you just mentioned? There's no more stops. I guess, was there anybody else before that, before you formed your own system, or?
No, I don't remember any styles that I've learned.
Okay, so I guess, what year did you take it upon yourself to create your own system?
It was on 1996 that I formed a system with another guy. So the one I mentioned to you, my student in Sikaran, the one that is another style of Mungus. We collaborated to form a group, and it's the Black Mungus club in Bicol. But the thing is, there's something happened between us. So I left the group and formed another system. I named it Pangil Martial Arts Club of Legazpi City. So, yeah, we're still good. I moved and created another group, but we're still okay at the time.
Oh, that's
So
good.
that's the time I decided to create my own.
Yeah, no, that happens. Right, there's everybody at one point or another takes a different path in their journey, and yeah, as long as you can still remain amicable and respectful to the other people, I think that's sometimes just how it goes. You know what I mean? So, so then what? Okay, so far as your system, you're saying around '96 is kind of when you developed it and all that. I'm sure it's evolved obviously since then. What are the components of your system?
It's basically it's mongoose and aikido, kickboxing. So that's what the components of the system before.
Oh, before. Okay, so back then that was those. Okay.
Arnis, from what I've learned to Paisindo.
Okay. So, and then it's evolved. I mean, it sounds like it's evolved since then. So, over the years, I guess, what have you added?
I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying, I'm sure you've evolved over the years. So, what else? I mean, I guess through your experiences and all that, what else have you added, I guess, to your system?
It's actually a long span, right, from 1996 until now. So from here, I got inspired with systems of Muro Dan Santo.
Mm.
So that's where I got this idea of panuntukan. So
Yeah,
actually, there's no panuntukan in my system. There's no dumog in my system. I called my system of the empty hand as pamuok. And I got the term in the Tagalog dictionary. It means hand-to-hand fight.
Okay, because I see
So
it.
every time I'm creating the system, I I get I get this dictionary, the Tagalog dictionary, and
Yeah.
and every Tagalog word I can include or I can associate with the styles, the name of this movement, and something like that. So formerly it was pamuo, but I decided to break down this style into a striking method and a grappling method. And I can see that panuntukan and dumog, the art or the system, the name of the system, is already established. So I decided to use it because I want people to, I don't want people to get confused when you say, what's this art? Like, for example, when I say pamuok, oh, what's pamuok and something like this, and showing different techniques. So that's what I did.
Yeah, no, I seen a couple of your vids. I mean, your boxing, I mean, like, it looked like really good Western box. I mean, what you were doing, and, I mean, jab, cross, hook. I mean, I definitely saw that, and saw that. No, I mean, so that looked really good. And so then, but far as, I guess, as far as your students and within the system, what are you giving far as, I guess, weapons? Are you giving them blunt weapon and edge weapons?
You mean where did I learn weapons?
No, not so much where you learned, but I mean, as far as your system, I mean, you have the stick and the blade in there as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and then so that's all right. So it sounds like you got a pretty comprehensive system there. You got the empty hand, and you got stick and knife. I'm assuming because I've seen some videos with the knife and sword. Okay.
I don't want to really. I'm not actually a traditional type. I'm more of a modern traditional in between. So I really love to, acquire knowledge from different sources, and I want to put it on the things that I do, so I can share also with my students. So um, yeah, in LARAW, we have 12 courses actually.
Okay.
This is the difference of LARAW from other systems, where other systems would start with the blade, and on the transition, it would become empty hand.
Okay.
Right. So what I did in the RAW is I make it as an academic format. Like I we offered courses. So we specialize in one course, and so on. So for example, if you just like to study panuntukan, so you just take panuntukan course.
You just say with the boxing empty hands. Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not necessary for a student to really learn everything.
I like that actually. Like I think if people like Burton, one of my teachers, Burton, does that. Like he separates the modules, and I think that's I think if the person wants to learn the whole system, I think that's fantastic. I really do. But maybe for the individual who might not have the time to like be able to study a whole system, but maybe just wants like one component. You know what I mean? I think it's nice that they can go out there and get that and all that. So I do find that refreshing. And that's I think that's neat that you do that as well. Because there's not that many. Like obviously you just mentioned that. My teacher Bert and I can't. I mean, I'm sure there's others out there who do it. I can't think of anybody else. If anybody's watching, if anybody else knows of teachers that do that, please put it down there. I'm sure there are. I just can't think of any right now. So then, what do you? Okay, so obviously with the current miserable situation we're in, so looks like you got a nice spot that you created in your house, and you're doing Zoom classes. How's that going?
Yeah, it's doing great. Actually, I just discovered it when the Kalima Jipahit group in Singapore invited me to do a Zoom class for them. So for that idea, we talked with Nakambini, and we just decided to go on Zoom since we don't do regular training because of the restrictions.
Yeah.
And I find there's an advantage, and of course there's a disadvantage in doing Zoom classes.
Yeah.
So we should adapt, right? Because later on we'll get back to normal, and then from there we can do personal training.
Yeah, no, I mean, here's the thing. You know what? It's better than nothing.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like, I mean, some people, you hear the negativity about all that. Well, but you know what? It's better than nothing. I mean, like what? So you don't do anything? I mean, yes. Obviously, there's stuff you could do at home and solo practice and all that. But, and the other thing too is I think people, they want to still be connected. So Zoom keeps that connection and all that. And I think people miss that. I think people, they miss that. Some people just don't to feel connected. They actually see and talk to, other people. And
yes, this is actually interactive.
Yeah,
and
so,
the instructor can correct them if they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, and like you said, it can be a supplemental, and it's now here, obviously, as a result of what we're going through. And then when things clear up, I mean, obviously we go back to normal, but Zoom's not going away though. It's so much,
And if they can learn from YouTube, if they can learn through instructional videos.
There you go.
And why they can learn in Zoom where there is an interaction.
Absolutely. Like if you can watch a YouTube video and all that, this is where it gets kind of hypocritical, and it bothers me. Because you'll have some of the negative people, and they say, well, you can't, the Zoom, I won't do it. They need it. Well, but these are some of the same people that are watching YouTube videos. I mean, it's like, come on, you know what I mean?
It's just, it depends on the person who's watching. For me, if I watch a video, I make sure that I study it. Like I don't just, I just don't mimic or imitate the movements of the teacher, but I also I want to dig deeper into the principle. So sometimes, most of the time, we discover things on that sometimes you can see on the video. You discover things like, this should this is the way it should be done, which is not shown on the video.
Yeah.
So again, different sources is all valid.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's good. I think it's good to go on there and see what other people are doing. I mean, if you could pick up, a piece there and here to enhance what you're doing. I like to go on there and just see some, for compare and contrast to see what other people are doing, particularly in the empty hand against knife world and just, and all that. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a good tool. It's not going away. So it's like these people just need to, they better start embracing it because this is the future. We got a couple of questions here from Maestro Chad. So, okay, do you train staff? Train the spear or staff?
No.
No. Okay. That was one question. All right, and from James, sarong.
Again?
Do you train the sarong from Ceylon?
No, but what we used here is the lubid. So it's just
The rope.
Yeah,
The rope, bro. I gotta be honest with you. I like the rope better than the sarong.
Yeah, because
Yeah, like I'm a huge fan of the rope, man. I'm with you on that one.
Because you can carry the paracord. Paracord, yeah, we use that as
the rope is, and then it just cuts in easier, and there's that brace of nothing gets sarong. I think it's neat. It's something I would like to dig more into and all that, but the rope, I don't know, argument here. All right, I just want to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Jesse, don't worry, we're going to get that. Okay, so with your students and all that, what is your, first, before we get to the students, what's your ranking structure for your students and all that?
Okay, so for example, a student took the course of Panantukan, and in Panantukan we have 3 levels: the basic, the intermediate, and the advanced. So when they on the basic, I teach boxing, all boxing, all hands, and then at the intermediate level, I introduce the elbows, the knees, and the kicks on the second level. And on the third level, this is more like of a Kali principle of Panantukan, where you use the gunting, you use the kalasag and everything. So after that, he just finished the course, and if he wants to proceed to being a trainer, that's the time the rank will be given to him as Tagasanay Isa. This is trainer level 1.
Okay, all right.
Become a Guru Isa. He has to take another course. Like for example, he wants Dumo, or he wants knife system, knife fighting. So when he finish 2 courses, he becomes Guru Isa. That's Guru Dalawa if he take 4 courses. So it's not like the one that I experienced, where you become, or you attain a level only if you're adding 2 katas and 2 years of being active to a group. So what we did is, if you really want to become or to progress as a guru, you have to know many systems.
Okay. So different modules, they would need to graduate one, kind of cross over. I can appreciate that. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm not, Maestro, I'm not just missing out on any questions here, because the comments are coming in. All right, I like the rope. Yeah, an argument here, Maestro Chad. Still basically the same technique. Yeah, definitely. I just think the rope, man, when you whip that thing, if somebody's eyes or face, man, it's going to be more impact than the sarong. Not that you can't get whipped out of sarong, or if there's a rock in there, which I know they like to do. Please ask to comment on, there are teachers who have been around for decades teaching, and they're also champions of scrimmage tournament boxing. But they do not wish to be called maestros, and yet they made a name in the industry. How important is to you as you rank? Okay. overall, Jesse, he kind of he explained why he chose to rank lakan. But the question here essentially is, how important to you is your rank?
Sorry, again.
The question somebody's asking, how important to you is your rank?
Actually, I don't mind about my rank. It's just a representation of being a leader of the group. So I don't want to be called master. I don't want to be called grandmaster. I don't want to be called like, a higher than people call me master, grandmaster, GM. And I keep on telling them, please, if you will call me, just call me Lakan. Or just call me by my name. Yeah. So that's also what I instill to my students. Okay? So yeah, you are guru, then you can be called as Guru Ronnie or Maestro Ronnie. It's okay because Maestro is just guru.
Yeah, it's just not right, which is I'm with you on that. Like, I kind of just prefer Dean. I mean, the way I look at it, I will always be a student. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I crossed a few more bridges than my students, but at the end of the day, I'm in the trenches with them. I'm still learning. I never want the title. Yeah.
Actually, we can still learn from the very beginner student.
Oh my gosh! Absolutely. Yeah. Sure.
The first day of their school, you learn from them.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's stuff I pick up from them when if they do like a move that I'm like, man, I've never seen that before. But yeah, 100%. Hopefully, Jesse, that answered your question. Kind of seemed like those guys, he doesn't want to be called master and all that. Brian, he's rubbing it into me now. All right, okay. So, all right, so we went over your ranking structure. Okay, Spark, what's your, obviously, this could be a kind of a difficult question, in lieu of the climate we're in, but what's your view on sparring with your students? Do you have a progression? I mean, I know this is hard now because, with the pandemic.
I'm teaching Panundukan, and during on the first level in boxing, we do sparrings on that. We also do sparrings with the stick, and also with the knives. So for me, it's really important because the concept of sparring is very important when you're doing combat arts. Without the sparring, your training will be incomplete. So I'm also
I mean, it's like a tough thing, and like there's some systems that really advocate it, and there's some systems that don't. And I really don't have a dog in the fight. I mean, I know what I like. I like to be held accountable. I like to be tested. I like contact, but doesn't mean that's good for the next person. I mean, it's their journey, so whatever makes them happy. But I do agree with you. I mean, if you are taking this from the reference point of self-defense, like I think you have to, for the sake of protecting your family or loved ones, I mean, you might want to see what works. I'm just saying. But for those who just like the art, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's important of the student and what they want in their journey. But it's a tough one though, like what should be pushed, you know what I mean? It's up to the student, you know what I mean?
Because on the early stage of the training, some students are afraid of
anxiety. They don't know what to expect.
And some instructors will just ask them to in the mats and do the spar. No, we don't do it here. We make sure that their fundamentals are good, that they can
good for you.
And then the progression is you can do study spar without hurting each other. Not contact sparring, and then later on with the progression you can do semi-contact.
Good for you. Right?
In the school, right?
No, there should be increments. I mean, right. So they're not being set up for failure. I mean, that's a good way to lose students. You throw them right in there. They have no idea what they're doing. Yeah, they're going to want to come back.
Correct.
Yeah, sign me up for your contract. Well, I like hearing that, right? You know what I mean?
Your career. If it does happen, you change your career.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, like if you really want, like, to, if you, because it can be difficult. Like, I really have empathy for school owners that, because if you're really hardcore, I mean, it's be tough to have a lot of students because for potential injury and all that. So even though I think there's a way to advocate sparring, but yet at the same time keep student retention, and that's a battle. Like, I feel for school owners that, to me, I teach and I have students, vibes like that, but I don't rely it solely for like my sole income. You know what I mean? So I'm able to do what I want till I want, and they can either stay or they can go or what have you. But I do feel for school owners though that have to wrestle with that. That can't be easy. Actually, that's gonna be a good interview. School owners, how to handle sparring. That's a good. I'm just thinking out loud here. But so
Actually, it depends
I'm sorry.
On your purpose, right? On the purpose of the student. Some students want it hardcore, so they have to go to another instructor who teaches hardcore because they want to indulge in a sports, aspect. Then they have to go to an instructor who promotes sports.
Yeah.
So there, they can expect hard training, and it's okay.
No, I think that's great. Like, you give them the choice. Hey, look, this is what we do. But like, it's kind of like if you go to an MMA school, but you want to compete. You know what I mean? And this is more kind of like defense oriented. I mean, even though they have all the elements of MMA, I mean, right? A good instructor will refer them to a fight school. So yeah, So all right, so you do mind. So what comprises of your DUMOG? I know you mentioned wrestling and what have you. So, and that's part of your curriculum, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, like what I've said, initially, it's not DUMOG, it's pamuok. Okay? And one time, when I got invited by a group in Australia to do a seminar here in Boracay, I teach I taught them the style, the pamuok. But the problem is on the first day, what happened is most of the guy can't do what I'm teaching them. This is the first time I teach foreigners in group.
Okay.
So yeah, this is my experience. And then after the training at night, I was thinking, what should I do for them to to catch up the lessons easily? Then from there, I decided to break down the system. I break down pamuok. So what I did was I used the entrada and then finished it up with an easier combination like boxing. So I set aside the grappling aspect at that time, so they can easily absorb the instruction.
Okay.
So from there, that's the start where I broken down the curriculum. So, but Dumo per se is not what the most of the people in FMA thinks about, like it is a cyanide. It's not like that. LKP, that's why I always put LKP Dumo into my post, because I want to differentiate it to the traditional Dumo people used to know. So LKP Dumo is a mixture of different grappling mats. So for example, I've learned about a BJJ. If I think that technique will be beneficial, will be effective, if we apply it, then I'll I'll adapt it. If I saw a silat move, um, effective, I'll adapt that silat technique. So it's a mixture of different grappling arts. It's not,
You know,
the type.
no, I definitely get what you're saying, and to me, and I don't know this for for sure. I haven't done just from past interviews and talking to people in regards to it. Whether it came from the Asano blend, this, that, and the other thing. But to me, it's serving more as an umbrella term for
Yes.
you know what I mean. That's what I'm starting to see it as. It's not that it's back in such and such. They were no. To me, it's kind of serving as this umbrella term for what's kind of ever in the mixture, whether it came from combat judo, some silat, Greco wrestling, PJJ, I mean, whatever.
Actually, people always say something. If I name it Dumog, if I name it Bunok, then people will associate it to the northern style.
Oh, no, more than okay.
If I say something else, then what's that? They'll be confused. So
I know. It's like I don't have a dog in this fight. I just it's the thing is sometimes you need a term to coin something. You know what I mean? Like okay. I mean, I guess you could say a blend of grappling. You know what I mean? But I think Dumag is kind of replacing that. Within the context of FMA, terms. I think Dumag is the blend of grappling, wherever that grappling may come from. And all that. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything.
It's actually more pure system, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you say, and I think what substantiates that is over in the States, you say grappling. I mean, okay, well, I tell you, grappling can mean, it can mean Sambo over here. It can mean BJJ. I mean, it can mean Greco or, collegiate wrestling. I mean, it can, it's a base term. Please ask among the FMA masters. Oh, okay. All right. This is good. So this is a good question. Who among the FMA masters or personalities do you admire?
Oh yeah. I admire a lot, actually. First, it's Guradan himself. Guradan, I love him so much. Sir Bobby Tabuada, all the Balintawak guys, actually. Because I also love Balintawak. Tatang Ilustrisimo, the system. The system of Tatang Ilustrisimo.
Yeah, no argument here.
Yeah, and Grandmaster Jaime Casanya.
I'm sorry, what was the last one?
Jaime Casanya. This Grandmaster Jaime Casanya is the student of GMU Romo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's who inspired me.
Okay.
Another that's what I know for. Saradel de Bob is also good.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, that was so we got. I just want to cover a little. Then I'm gonna bring Jesse in soon. I'm sorry, Julius, because he wanted to ask you some questions. But I want to kind of go over some. You've and then we got your demo. But you've got some pretty nice awards. I mean, in 2012, you were appointed director of the Martial Arts Hall of Fame and all that. So what can you tell us on that? And the Medal of Honor. A few things going on there.
Yeah, on 2012, I was assigned, designated as the program director of the Philippine Martial Arts Hall of Fame by the late Punong Lakan.
Okay.
So yeah, I organized the demo on that event. So
Okay.
we are designated to each area. So for the gala, that's different. For the competition, that's different. For the tournament, So I was assigned to organize the demo part.
Okay, no. I mean, I thought it was quite the honor.
Instructors and
Yeah, no. And then, and also you also, I want to get into now, you're also instructor of the Manila Constables, the Metro Department. Do you train?
yes,
You help in training?
yeah,
Okay.
I'm part of that training during that time.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, that must have been that's still quite an honor that they chose you for that. I mean, that's what did that training consist of? I mean, now when you say constable, are they?
Yeah,
It's actual police. Or is it different?
Yeah, it's like traffic enforcers.
Oh, Metro. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, we have them over here. Okay, I understood. Okay.
So it's only 3-day training for each constable. Each constable, three-day training. So it's not really long term,
Oh yeah, okay.
So batch by batch.
No, that's yeah. I just think I got one. I think I'm getting some more questions, Maestro. There who have been around for decades season. They're also champions. Yes, I asked. I did ask that Jesse. He said that just like them, they don't wish to be. He doesn't wish to be called the Maestro. And his rank. He did answer about his rank and why he chose that. He did answer that though. Okay. Paul, Guru Paul says he can't wait to see you again. Okay. do you know Paul in the June show? They're funny. Oh my God, I lost my place here. Here, bear with me. All right, so do you have? The last thing I want to do, I'm going to bring up the Gathering of the Warriors. What's all of that? Is that something you kind of formed?
Yeah. I was really, I really like to gather with my colleagues.
Hi guys.
No, I mean, sounds
Sounds
great. I mean, so this is a collaboration, so to speak, that you guys.
No. My group, LKB, organized the event. Every year, except for last year, I always see to it that we have a gathering with every system I know in the metro. So I invited them to go on, gather together, show some demonstration, presentation. So from beginners from different systems would get introduced to other styles of FMA within the community here in Manila.
I think it's great. It sounds like it's a neat thing. You get different people there, and you get. How about kids? Is there a kid aspect to it? A youth aspect to it?
Yeah. When I invite a group, they will really ask their members to come along and see different masters, so they would know who's in the community. So and this is not a sponsored event. So I asked my member, to we sponsor the event. I asked them to help me get funds, to make sure that we get this event to happen. So there's no sponsor to it. So this is just
That's fantastic. One of the things I've been hearing just through interviews and all that you guys are really, collectively through different venues and all that, getting the kids involved, the youth, and I just think that's fantastic. I wish there was more of a push here in the States, but hopefully that will kind of migrate towards the West, Europe, and then we'll see it. But it's got to start from you guys. I firmly believe that, and I think it's great that you guys are doing that and spreading it and what have you. I'm glad and all that. So, but I know Julius, but you got a demo
Yeah, he's got to do a demo first.
All right, do a demo. Then Julius does have a few questions, but this has been absolutely wonderful what you shared with us thus far, and I appreciate it. There's a couple questions I'm going to just go through. But now, when you do your demo, what we could do is I can lower myself and Julius in there, and then people will be able to see a bigger screen with you and all that. So if you're ready, we're ready to watch.
Oh, what did Paul say? He's like, can I read Bagani? Oh, Bagani.
I don't know. Wait till your interview, Paul. So, Maestro, are you ready?
For the demo?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, all right. I'm going to lower ourselves so you'll have more space and people can see, a better pic of you guys. Okay. And here we go. Me and Julius will now disappear.
Okay, guys, on this demo, I want to present the baston dumo. Okay, so for the baston dumo, we should always know the usage first, or the primary usage of the stick. So the primary usage of the stick is to hit, right? To strike. That's the first one. The second, so when we're fighting, I don't want to get close. I should see to it that I have the safe distance. So my safe distance would be largo. And on largo, you can grab my opponent, right? You can just hit him with a strike or with a thrust. So that's the first usage of the stick. The second usage of the stick is for blocking. So for blocking and redirection. So for instance, he attacks me with the serrada, I block, and then I strike. He attacks me with a serrada, I redirect the strike. When he attacks me with a horizontal slash, I can redirect the strike. Okay, so that's the second usage. The first usage is for striking. Second usage is for striking. Now for the third usage, it's it's for the compression. Okay, applying pressure on a certain body parts. Okay, when I say applying compression, that would be a different range. That would be a grappling range or a extreme quarter range. So, for example, he attacks me here. I go for the compression on the traps, and then later on here. Okay, so this is the third, or which I can say the last usage of the stick. Now, some people would say that baston dumo doesn't work and it is this or something like that. I can say that it will be like that if you do it. If we don't do the proper way of how you apply the technique. Like for example, the one I did is from here. If I use this one here and do this one, do you think it will work here? Of course not. Even if I apply pressure, add pressure to this, he can easily go on. He can easily do something like that. Even if we strangle, it doesn't work. Now, how do I make it work? So from here, you always apply destruction first. You don't go direct for the dumo. It has to have destruction. Even all the systems, whether it's panintuban, dumo, kali, knife, you have to make a destruction first for it to work. So I have this destruction, and then now I can go on here and here. Now, this is generic technique in baston dumo. Okay, Adu would say, when you do this one, this is done. Okay, this is already finished. Okay, it doesn't. He can still counter for this. Counter. See? So it's very easy. Even if the arm, even if this arm got trapped, still he can counter. Even this arm is locked, he can still counter. Okay? So how can we make it work? Okay? Does that mean that when you see this technique, you will say that, oh, okay, that technique is not effective? So in our system, we find solution. Instead of just throwing away this this technique, we find solution. So the principle is it should be done by standing or to the ground. So for us, I think we need to put our opponent down, stabilize his foundation to make this technique work, right? Because there's a foundation wherein your opponent can still use that foundation to escape or to make his counter. So here, 1, 2, move, strike. This everything is a strike. So this is a strike. This is a strike. This is a strike. Okay, and now I have this one. Now from here, I will make him uncomfortable by removing his balance here. Now you defend. Okay, go, defend. Okay, go. Okay. Now he finds hard to defend himself because he loses his balance. Right? To have a total control of this technique, what I have to do, because he has this one. He has other weapon. I remove one, so he has 3. So I remove the two other weapons. Now I'm just worried about this. So I have to, take him down. Let me take him down, and then I'm gonna trap this one. So I remove 4 of his main weapon. Now I execute my lap. Now I want you to counter. Go. Okay. So with that technique, it's up to you to to know if it's effective or not. Now again, I'm just using a padded stick. Okay. If those techniques, if he's feeling pain for a padded stick, what more can a normal stick can do to him to cause pain? Okay. Another example. Just for instance, the stick got disarmed, and you want this. Would you do this technique standing here? Of course not. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So even if you drag him, even if he's feeling pain, he can still counter, or he can still just strike your groin. So you cannot just see a technique and say it's it's not effective. Just for instance, I already disarmed his weapon, and he's desperate enough to attack me. He'll try to close in so that I cannot utilize my stick. So what I will do for me is for the sprawl, for the dumo. So go on, and then I attack here. So this could be a strike. This could be a strike, right? So another application of pain. And then from here, I can go on with this one with another strike. Okay? Because here I'm throwing the pillow. I'm gonna throw the bony part here, for this technique. And then I go on to the ground, go on here. I don't want to expose my head because he can still, I gouge my eyes, he can still attack me here. So I'm gonna close in. Now I apply pressure. You will see it with the BJJ technique, without the stick, right? They will just grab the colors of the gi, and then we apply technique. So that's if you can translate it to jiu-jitsu, that would be it. So another one, we always situate that if we do techniques, we situate that the stick is already disarmed. Like for example, from here I don't disarm the stick. I hit him with the nut, and then I strike him. Look at what happened. Okay, I can apply pain here, but look at what happened to the stick. Okay, so first you have to make get rid of the weapon hand of the weapon. So I might say that, for example, he strike me here, I move, and then I strike. So the normal reaction of the person, is to block, right? So after this one, I will anticipate that he will block. So I have to move for my counter, and then I attack again. He will block again. Now from this point, I can now go on with my strike, and now I can do my technique. So padded stick, apply pressure here. Okay, I'm applying the bicep slicer. Now, am I safe here? Not yet. Because look, I'm turning my back to my opponent. I don't know what he can pull with his shirt. Okay, I don't know if he carries knife. So this is just a transition. For me, this is just a transition. Once I felt that he is in pain and he's like shouting for pain, I can now transition to another technique. I can strike him first and then go here. Now from here, I want you to muscle out and counter. Okay, so no counter for this. But again, I'm not yet on the safer position. Why? Because look at the hand. He can still pull out something there. He could carry a knife, right? So I'll be in danger. So what should I do here is to really go to the ground again. Look at the hand here. As I go to the ground, I will try to lock him up and then apply pressure. Okay, so I'm really taking away all the options you can do. Okay, especially the other arm. Okay, it's not just the weapon hand that we will focus. We'll focus here. We'll also focus here. Okay, so one more thing. There are techniques like it. So from here, I can go on. I can block. He can block and then move here and then go for this one. Now look, he feels pain. Okay, here this is very painful, right? If I grind it, it's painful. But the problem here, as you see him tap, you will see that this is effective, right? But this technique per se, without moving, is not, because he can still counter. Okay, because I'm offering him something to work on. Now I'm gonna remove this one, and instead of just doing this, I'm gonna insert it here, okay, under my armpit and go here. Now, okay, no, because this is locked up here. So I can now go on with the carry. Okay, so again, another variation of the slicer is when I get to the ground. So for example here, I go to the ground like this. Okay, I will apply pain. Okay, he taps, meaning he got hurt. Okay, he's in pain. But what about the other hand? Can pull out the weapon again and can stab me at the back. So what I can do here is to flatten him over. Okay, this is not the final technique. This is just this could be just a transition to a better technique, to a better position. So here, I constantly applying pain like that, right? And then from there, look, I go from your movement, he can turn like this and now you have an elbow, shoulder break. Okay, now you have counter. Okay, so my point here is, to know the technique is effective, you must at least know how to do it properly. And again, the stick is meant to hit, but we don't know what will happen on the street. Okay, a guy could be an expert in grappling. What will you do? You throw your stick? No, you never throw your stick. Even on the Dumog range, you never throw your stick because it can do damage. With the puño, with the close range strike, it can do puño. But you don't know if you can still do puño on the course of fight. Like for example, I'm already down. Okay, so, he has the stick. He happens to put me on the ground. And then I go on with this one. Now I'm on the guard position. Now he'll try to hit me with the stick. Now I hit him. So as I hit, I don't like this one. As I hit him here. Okay, let me show you on the other side. Okay, so here I hit. Okay, and then I move by hitting again. So this one is a hit. Then this one is another hit. Now I can go on with this one now. Okay, can go on with the slicer and an elbow break. Okay, it doesn't matter now if he is carrying the stick or not, right? Because he cannot use this one. Even if he transfer it, exchange, hold it like this, he cannot do it because of the position. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of things that we are trying to improve in our in the system of custom Dumog. We don't want to limit ourselves with just purely striking with the stick. It's very important to really experience it first. Show you'll see the different aspect of it before we can say that it's ineffective. Now, when we found out that one technique is ineffective, that no matter how we try to play around with it, it doesn't work, then we'll disregard it. We'll throw it away. No matter how artful or how good it will look to the audience, we'll throw it away. Okay, after studying it first. Okay, so that's how we do our baston Dumog. It's not the usual thing that we do. This is so 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the usual thing for this is generic technique in FMA. Like the baston Dumog that you're doing this one. Yeah, this is also included in the baston Dumog. But for us, we expounded the techniques. Okay, and we go to the ground. We use different style systems of grappling in the ground. So that's how we do it in baston Dumog. Now, without the stick, we'll talk about Dumog. Here's what we do in the system. So he'll throw a jab cross strike, which always happen during a fight. You don't just throw a haymaker, a haymaker strike. You know, we'll see, we assume that my opponent here is, he knows something. He knows something. He knows boxing. So I'm gonna expect not just here, but I'm gonna let myself react to his movement. So for instructional purposes, I want him to throw a jab cross combination. Okay. So here, 1, 2. Okay. The second one is breaking the eye. Since I'm going inward, I'm worried about this hand, so this hand got trapped. Okay, and then from here, I don't know, I don't have any weapon here, but the head, I execute the headbutt here. And then, you know, I want to go outside. So I execute an elbow here so I can undrag him, and now I'm on his outside. From here, I'm gonna apply a jerking technique, a sudden push by doing this. So we have tried this with huge opponent, and for the experience, this works, even with the huge opponent. So here, I'm gonna turn and then, you know, let his shoulder bump his jaw here, and then now I go for the takedown. Okay, always apply jerking techniques, and then from here, I want to be in a more dominant position, so I move him out, I go here, and then apply pressure. Look at my leg. If I just stay here, he will easily, you know, he can easily get out of that. So what I'll do is, okay. So instead of just putting my legs here, I want to trap this one. Okay. Now I'm applying pressure at the neck for neck crank, and at the same time I'm applying pressure to the knee. Okay, and he cannot do anything about this. Now you try to counter. Go on, try to counter. Because again, I'm removing another of his weapon. Okay, so that's one. 2. Now I'm going for the split entry. Always with the eye. You'll notice that I always go to the eye. That's for our Panantukan entry. So again, one more time, I move, I go to the eye here. And then, as reaction, I'm always preparing or assuming of this reaction. So from here, look, I go for the eye, and then I'm gonna go here, and now I can go towards this direction. I have this one. I can also break this one. I can sit down and apply pressure to the throat. So that's one thing. Sinahan for number 4. From here I move again, ice. Okay, ice. I strike this one here. I can elbow. Look at the movement. It's very short. Okay, and then I trap. I knee again, and then I go for the takedown. Look, and now again I remove that other weapon, and now I can go on for my lock. Now for this lock, neck crank and pressure to the sternum. Okay, it's not just a crank, but it's also a pressure to the sternum. Look. Okay. Another one. I'm going to attack the legs. Okay, so here, 1, 2. Okay, so I'm using my kalasad. 1, 2. This is my distraction. Okay. Now I'm just gonna turn, look, and then go on with that one. I step, and then I go on with the crank. Okay, for the last technique, this one, maybe you'll notice something here. Move, 1, 2. Okay, here, move. So I gouging his eyes. So I can move here and then look. I can throw him there, but I'm helping him to go far. I don't like that. So instead of pushing him there, I'm gonna push him here. where I can meet him with my elbow here. And then I rig, and then now clinch, and then I'm going to the ground now. Now you will notice this one, this movement here, right? So you can see it in many grappling arts. You can see it in many grappling arts here, here, or even here. Even he pushes me there. So it's just helping me to, to acquire pain here. So yeah, that's the way we do it here in Dumo. First, we do some distractions, and then from there we use different techniques. Again, from different styles of martial arts.
No, thank you. I mean, thank you so much for showing all that. The one thing that
But clearly they know Photoshop very well. I don't know what other programs they know the Adobe Creative Suite very well, like Illustrator. Who makes your stuff?
I give credits to Guru Arlene Santiago. Guru Arlene Santiago is my student here in LPG.
They're very nice.
So you heard that, folks. So if you want to have a professional looking, advertisement for that, go for who? Guru Arlene Santiago.
Yeah.
Maybe you could reach out to her on Facebook.
Some of my instructor friends also have contact with her, and they're doing business.
The next one I was going to ask you, because I'm trying to do this as quick so that we can just, finish now, you know what I mean? How are you able to make your whole family do it? Because as they say, the family that trains together stays together.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe because they always see me doing it. And whenever I do it, I happy. I enjoy it. They see the passion. And I always tells them, learning martial arts is very important. It will make your life, better.
Yeah, 100%.
Benefits of martial arts training in a person really makes a difference. So always.
The two next questions, because I'm just trying to do this quick. I know that we're over time. Where did your methodology of Sunkiti come from, and what was your inspiration? Because I really like your Sunkiti entries, your dead eye, because you can't see it from the blind side attack. Where did you pick that up?
Yeah, as I've learned the blade, I realized that Sunkiti is much more intimidating than a strike. So we have experimented here in the school, wherein I call on my student and ask them what's their reaction about between the strike and the Sunkiti strike, and I only get one answer, and they really intimidated by the Sunkiti. So from there, we decided to use this style of Kali.
And then the final one, I'm just trying to do it as quick as possible. How about your combat footwork? Where did it come from? Because to me, it looks so much like Timog Katagalugan, Southern Tagalog, or Laguna styles, and it looks like the rumble drills as well as Muay Thai Boran. Like it looks like Muay Thai Boran rumble drills. So where did you pick up your footwork?
I think I got it from boxing. So
those diagrams that you do, came from boxing. The footwork diagrams. That's not.
The Paete Arnis inspired me from doing that. So actually, we're doing the thing with our system, and then only finding out that we're actually doing what the Paete group are doing. But and then when we met during the Katipunan of the Bagani, the Katipunan of Bagani, I saw the methodology, and it really amazes me. So what we did here is we try to adapt what they're doing, but it's very hard to adapt it.
Right.
So later on, we're doing the same thing that we're doing, and then realizing that, oh, this is the one that, Maestro GL
Doy.
Morris.
Yeah, Doy. Yeah.
But
Yeah, because
again, we're not yet, well versed into that system. That's the only thing that we try to
that's
do.
mainly the system I practice. Like when it comes to blade base, because I practice a style from Louisiana, which is the province that's close to there. I mean the town that's right next to down in Paete. It's like Dulong Barrio, as you know. But
Yeah, they're very good at that.
Yeah.
The measure, very good.
Yeah. I mean, I really think it's a combination of maybe European styles, and I even see non-European styles in it, because the stress that they like to thrust, but we have to adapt that with the weapons that we have over in the Philippines, which is short chopping tools. So over there they hack instead of thrusting. But the full work measurement is actually a little bit different from the stress that you learn from HEMA. So you kind of think like, was it influenced by the Chinese a little bit or the Indians, and they just kind of mixed it all together? Because the footwork is Italian, the hand form is 19th century saber form, and the poses is 16th century Spanish. So who knows? I think I gave too much away. I'm gonna get my ass kicked now, dude. Like, I shouldn't have said those things. I shouldn't have said those things, because now they know the secret sauce.
There you go. But Maestro, I want to thank you so much for coming on. What I'm gonna do is I always download this. I'll have to do some edits, but after I get done, I'll definitely post it to your wall, the YouTube version and all that.
Sorry about that.
Oh no worries. It happens. Believe me, I've been through it all, so no worries. So it comes with the playing field. But I appreciate you coming on. I really do. Thank you. The demos were wonderful and all that. So, but if we don't see you, you take care of yourself. We always try to bring people back. So it'll be safe to say, 6 months down the road, hopefully we're out of this mess. We'll have you back and see what you're up to and what you're doing.
Likewise.
All right. Well, you take care.
Dean, that was awesome, man. He's like on point, man. Lakan.
So, folks, again, this Sunday, before he came back, and I was alluding to what's going on this Sunday night, and what that's going to be is we're going to, four of us are going to be on here. We're going to have Brian Rodriguez. He's going to talk about how he's been making these trainers and some other unique weapons, or just pretty neat stuff. And then we're going to kind of give some indication what's coming down the future lens as far as FMA discussion and all that. But I don't want to divulge too much. So, but yeah, anyway, that's going to be this Sunday at 7 o'clock Eastern time. And it should be kind of exciting. There'll be four of us kind of, sharing what's coming down. And all good stuff, by the way. You know what I mean? So be sure to check that out. That, and you guys will kind of get some insight to what we're going to be doing as far as the future and all that.
Dean, I like Ronnie Royce's methodology, man. He seems like a very sharp dude.
No, I mean, definitely. He's got some unique pieces of puzzle going on for sure. You know what I mean? Like I saw clear cut Anasano stuff in there. Which he alluded to. So I mean, he was honest. I mean, definitely stuff that I played around with in the late '90s and all that. I mean, pure Anasano, the pontoon.
You did the blend. You did the blend, right?
That was my first system. Yeah. And it brought back memories. I mean, some of his entries, what he was doing, and the takedowns, and some of the whole. I mean, it was pure blend.
We got to continue the questions that we missed last time when we interviewed you. Your Native American background.
Yeah, the list just keeps growing, man. It's like we'll make it happen. But what I was going to allude to there was what he was showing was it brought back memories, something I haven't done in a very long time, but was able to, definitely familiarity, some of the stuff I was seeing him do and all that. But I mean, he's got an interesting thing going. He obviously jumped on the Zoom thing pretty quick. I mean, I've been seeing his stuff being posted for months now. You know what I mean? And very well done graphics as far as his advertising and and all that. I mean, well, really, really, well done. So, kudos to him. You know what I mean? He early, what they say, early bird gets the worm. So he's one of the few that I saw right from the get go. Doing something, pumping out those flyers and all that, because they were so well done. I distinctly remember seeing them. So. But anyway, folks, yeah. So we'll be back Sunday night. Jump in, like I said, we're going to cover a lot of what's coming down the future and all that, and then plus you get to see Brian's toys, what he makes, and all that.